Peace and blessings. Welcome to Brooklyn Crochet presents Make and Take Crochet, a show about crochet designers and crochet fashion and throughout the African diaspora and the Black community. I'm your host, Yvonne Sloan Cherry, and today we're going to be joined with Nasant of Nasant Nation, fiber artist extraordinaire, and Phyllis Graham Anderson of Phyllis's Original Crochet Corner is back, and she's gonna do our stitch of the day, which is a granny square and a granny triangle. And then she's gonna put them together and show us how to form the letter C. C is for crochet. C is also for Cascade Yarn, our new yarn sponsor. Allow me to introduce Nasant
Nasanimo Diodi.
of Nasant Nation.
Yes.
Welcome to Make and Take Crochet.
Thank you.
So I just want to start off with a few questions, and then you can talk about what it is that you've been getting into lately, okay? Sure. All right. Who was the first person in your life that inspired you to crochet?
I would have to say my mother, primarily. I grew up seeing my mother and my aunt create amazing doilies and chairback covers and pot holders and all those different type of intricate stuff. So I had that in my visual. I was always intrigued by it. Never necessarily knew that I would pick the yarn and the needle up, but I was definitely intrigued at a very early age by all the different little intricate patterns and the artistry and creativity of it all.
So at what age did you pick up the hook?
Officially, I would say I was probably like about 18, 19 years old. But the first time I actually picked up the hook when my mom's gave me like my first introduction into actually holding the yarn and the needle and whatnot, I was probably about 7, 8 years old.
Oh, okay, that's pretty young.
Yeah.
So then this way when you got older, it was already in you.
I had a familiarity.
Now you just came up with your own flavor.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay. So what was the first stitch that you learned?
Well, the chain stitch. The chain stitch, which is, the foundation for everything that you do in crochet, you know what I mean? So I learned the foundation first, the chain stitch, then obviously the single crochet, then double, then treble, and then it just kept going up from there. And then after that, I started exploring and getting into different books and pattern books and stuff like that. So, you add more stuff to your toolbox.
Right. My favorite stitch is the half double crochet. What's
Wow.
your favorite stitch?
I was about to start interviewing you. I was about to be like, why is that? Why is that? Let me see, what is my favorite stitch? I would say the single crochet.
The single crochet?
Yeah, single crochet is my favorite stitch. Why? Because of the rigidity that it gives when you twist it up. So it's like all the pieces are very close together. All your stitches are very close together. So you don't have a lot of gaps or spaces in between, So you could have a very tight fabric. That's why I really like that single crochet.
Okay. I like the half double crochet because it's kind of like the
sure
single
is.
crochet but it's just a little more height.
A little bit more
so
height.
I'm able to finish something up a little faster than if I was only working on a single crochet.
Exactly.
That's why I like that stitch.
Exactly. I know it.
Does anyone else in your family crochet? You said your mom and your aunts,
Yeah,
right?
my mother, my aunt. Those are the only two people that I am familiar with that crocheted, My mom's a master pattern reader, all of that type of stuff. My aunt used to literally look at things in nature or out in the world and be able to translate those shapes into crocheting.
Oh, wow.
Without reading patterns or anything like that. So that was her skill set.
That's creative,
You know what I mean?
that's a talent.
That was her skill set. And my mom's, she does everything from a pattern. She can't like pick up yarn and just make a thing. She probably could, but she has never challenged herself to do it in that kind of way. But a pattern, she could read patterns flawlessly, have them come out immaculate.
Where's your family originally from?
My mother's side of the family is from St. Vincent. My father's side of the family is from Dominica.
Okay.
And I was born in Dominica, so that's where I grew up and spent the majority of my early years.
Now, is crochet really, really popular there?
Yeah, as it is, along with basket weaving and a lot of the other, you know, handmade arts and crafts, like all of those stuff, all throughout the Caribbean, you know? So young men and women would get involved in various different types of weave arts from an early age. Even if you don't stick with it, but you would be exposed to it and have those different tangible skills, you know?
Right. It's sort of like growing up in South Carolina, especially around in the Sea Islands, because we had to learn how to do the basket weaving too,
You know
my
what I mean?
grandma and whatnot, and of course crocheting.
Yeah. You know,
and sewing, you know, just crafting, right?
Yeah, the whole gamut of crafts.
Yeah. So, acrylic, cotton, or wool?
Acrylic, cotton, and wool for various different reasons. Acrylic has a real ready-to-wear rough and tumble. Like if I'm making bags or some kind of stuff that is going to take a lot of abuse, I would make it out of acrylic. The cottons obviously are more breathable materials, so those would be like my springtime, summertime feels. If I'm making something a little bit more lacy, something a little bit lighter as far as the weight is concerned, I would definitely steer towards my cottons. And wools, on the opposite side of the spectrum, geared towards your cooler times, your falls and your winter times, you know what I mean? So I would utilize those materials for that particular time of the year.
Okay. How did you begin to incorporate the leather and the ostrich and the zebra and all those types of skins that you use into your work?
Well, creativity, right? It's a very interesting thing. So I would see one mode and try to figure out how can I meld it or blend it with another mode of creativity. So I do leather work, I do metal work, I make jewelry. So there are a lot of different skill sets that I have under my belt when it comes to creativity. So anytime I go to the table and I begin to create, a lot of different things flood through my head. I'm like, well, let me see if this would make sense of this, or that would make sense of that. You know what I mean? Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. But in the times that it does, it gives you a whole nother like push forward in your whole creative process. Be like, okay, well, this makes sense with that, so let me see if how I could evolve this particular idea. You know?
And this, I mean, your work is beautiful.
Thank you.
Like, it
Thank you.
really shows. How do you choose the colors that you use?
What would I attribute that to? I would mainly say growing up in the Caribbean, you know, we have a lot of vivid, rich color palettes. Like rich, like the colors feel like they attack in your eyes. You know, there's a particular show we have going on in Dominica called the Flower Show, right? And every year there's a huge flower show in this part of Dominica called Girardel and Eggleston up in the mountains. Huge flower shows. And there are people that have been rearing the flowers for the entire year before to bring to this particular event. So there are all kinds of beautiful flower arrangements everywhere you turn your head. So the rush of color is immense. So I would attribute it to that. That's like why I have such a huge color palette.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you this. Is there like any special technique that you use when you add those skins to your work?
Special techniques? I wouldn't necessarily say special techniques. The special part of it is the creativity of how to put it together. But putting it together in itself is not necessarily the magic. So
is it hand sewn or sewing machine?
It's all hand.
It's all hand.
Yeah, it's all hand. You know, I cut everything by hand, stitch everything by hand, punch everything by hand.
Oh, okay.
So it's all hand.
And with the zippers too, because when I made my cardigan, I could not sew the needle through the bottom part of your zipper, because you know the bottom part here
It's
is like a
hard.
little tough.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get my needle through. I ended up taking it to the dry cleaner and just having
And
him
just let him do it.
do it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you all a little trick right here live
Yes, let's get the trick, because
on-
I want to know.
on Crochet Corner, right? Boom. Couple things you could do. You could either heat a needle up, just heat it up with a lighter, just burn the tip of it. Let it heat up for two seconds. It doesn't have to be that long. And that will punch right through the plastic tab at the bottom of your zipper. Or
Wow.
you can get a punch, plier punch,
Oh, okay.
used in jewelry making. See, and that's another way that one tool from a whole nother skill set makes sense in a whole nother skill set.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I wasn't necessarily doing the jewelry work, I wouldn't know about the punch tool, and the punch tool is like easily, I'll use it to punch for brass and copper, so why wouldn't it be able to punch for plastic?
Right.
You know, so I just translated it, use it, I need to punch a small hole, boom, done.
Done.
Chip, 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 chip.
Finish the sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that is good to know. So now I have a couple of more questions from the studio audience and the home audience.
Nice.
And my first question is from Elizabeth, and she wants to know, do you have patterns of your work?
No, I don't have patterns. Not that I can't create them, but I haven't. Each piece literally is its own living, breathing entity. So I make one, and then that's it. Not to say that I won't create pieces to make patterns and have that be the thing, but as of now, up until now, I should actually say, I have not created patterns to pass on to another crochet artist per se.
Okay, so now since you don't make the patterns, then she wants to know, where can she buy your stuff from, and like how would she go about contacting you to order?
Your best bet is to contact me through Instagram, which is at NASSAT_nation. That's at NASAT Nation. That's your best way to contact me. Just send me a DM, and then, you know, take care of business from there.
Okay. And Victoria wants to know, how long did it take for you to finesse your style?
My entire life.
My entire life.
Yeah, my entire life, you know. So, you know, style is not, I mean, some people go out and buy style, but as far as I'm concerned, you know, it's something that if you're an authentic person, it emanates out of your being, you know what I mean? It's not anything that is duplicated or can be replicated, you know? So my entire life of being honest and authentic with myself, and that's how my style evolves and grows.
Cool.
Yeah.
And last question is from Grisnell, aka Gigi. Gigi wants to know,
What's up,
do
Gigi?
you teach your technique?
Yes, I do. I've done series of crochet classes throughout my tenure of being a crochet artist. I've taught from kids to elders, you know, in various different forms, from intermediate classes, novice classes, expert classes. I've kind of taught all across the board.
So if somebody wanted to contact you to come out and do a class or do a workshop, then they also would contact you through Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. Finally, what's your favorite snack? Like when you sit down, you're about to crochet, you in your favorite crochet spot, what's your snack?
My favorite snack, I would have to say, you know, I like a little bit of salt and a little bit of sweet. And I kind of like mix them, go back and forth. My choice of salt is usually any kind of crunchy, sesame-based kind of cracker type thing. Any of those work. Doesn't necessarily matter the brand. And on the sweet side is some kind of gummy type something. Some kind of
Gummy bears,
some
sour powers.
Some kind of gummy something. Some type of gummy something on one side, a little crunchy over here, crunchy gummy, salty sweet, you know, to get your balance going on, you know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So now tell us about what you got going on, what you're about to be getting into.
As of next weekend, I have a few shows coming up in the Boston area. I love doing fashion shows at colleges. They are unwittingly a very impactful platform because they are the next set of people that's going to go out into the world to do things. You know what I mean? So literally you have your brand and your product in their face. What's a better place to have your branding and your product? You know, and it's like, it's always been a great relationship and exchange between myself and the various college organizations that I've done work with, you know. So I'm keeping this whole little tour going on as a crochet cavalcade, and we're hitting up a bunch of different schools all throughout the Eastern Seaboard. And a couple different events coming up. October 12th, we have a big gallery event coming up at Stonehouse down in Park Slope, Brooklyn. It's a big exhibit, big whoop-to-do, much to do about everything. So definitely come on out, check the vibes, see what we got going on.
At this, the one at the Stonehouse, that's during the summer or after summer?
That's going to be October 12th, so...
Oh, so that's at the Kings County Fiber Festival?
Yeah. So it's going to be a part of the Kings County Fiber Fest, and we have a special
Save that
exhibit.
date, October 12th.
Save the date. Special exhibit, shout out to Maxine. Special exhibit and artist talk and, you know, good vibes.
Yeah, shout out to Maxine. Hey, Maxine. I'm going to have to get her up on this couch.
Exactly, exactly.
Now, you have two pieces here. Can you tell us about them?
Like I'm too short. It's like I'm too short.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So, drum majorette, that was the whole inspiration for this particular piece. The cut, a lot of the line work is representative of that, and you know, with my own particular twist on it, my own particular variation. But that is essentially what this particular vibes is, you know what I mean? I call this one Lilac Breeze.
Lilac Breeze?
Lilac Breeze.
I like that. Very nice. This is,
you know, and it's a lot of different elements. This one is like heavily embellished. There's a lot of metal work going on in there, a lot of rivets. There's a lot of zippers, and you know, there's zippers
yeah, let's show
on the
the back.
There's leather work going on in the back. You know, there's a lot of stuff. This was like my old logo. I would say this logo is from maybe 2002 or something like that, all the way back then. And that's the logo I was using for a while. And I decided to put it as an ode to my older vibrations on a new piece. You know what I mean? It's somewhat like a throwback, so to speak.
Okay. And what yarn is that?
That's a lot of acrylics. It's a lot of acrylics. All the pieces that I brought today were all acrylic-based pieces. But another thing that I like about acrylic is the fact that people put it at the bottom of the barrel as far as yarn is concerned.
Like me?
Yes. You know, all the yarn snobs out there.
All the yarn snobs.
They put the acrylic all the way at the bottom of the barrel, and I vowed to be like, yo, listen, I'm about to show you what can be done with acrylics. And all these pieces are acrylics. All of these pieces are acrylics. So you see what can be done with the acrylics?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I like to use acrylic yarns as the same way that acrylic paint is used. Because you see how the colors are very vibrant and rich? Same kind of way. So then you could get real funky with your color blocking. You know, you could get real funky with your color blocking. As in with this particular piece, you know. And a lot of inspiration for the pieces, especially the men's pieces, are a lot of sneakers and the colorway of the sneakers that are available at any particular time, you know. So a lot of the jackets that you will see me with, they would match a particular sneaker colorway to the T. For example, the jacket that I have on right now and the sneakers that I have on right now.
Oh,
so the colorway matched to the T.
To the T.
To the T, you know. So that's what I do. And this whole ideology is called Just for Kicks. And you know what I mean? It's a double entendre playing on the whole vibes of just for kicks, just for fun, just for whatever, just for laughs, just for kicks. But the jackets are just for the kicks because they are immediate direct marriage to the kicks.
And I'm just going to pass you this before I knock down the whole display.
Yes, we'll leave this guy right here to come chill out with us for
because that's cool. And I really like the way the colors blend too.
Yeah, you know, so I love colors, man. I love how colors come together. I love how you have serious contrast and juxtapositions of colors and different vibrations, you know. So I pay attention to those type of things, and I try to like literally just directly put it into my work.
Okay. Do you think about mentoring any other like young men? Because I have a nephew and he really likes to crochet.
Nice.
I mean, I need to introduce him to you
Yeah,
so you
that'd be
could
great.
teach
That'd
him
be great.
some new stuff.
The mentoring and teaching of crochet that I do to kids right now is out of the Ziax Institute over in Brownsville, Brooklyn. We're on 5096 St. Mark's Avenue.
Shout out to Brownsville.
Yeah, shout out to Brownsville, you know what I mean? Never ran, never will. And we over there doing some serious impactful work with the kids. We have a school upstairs, and we trying to impart all the tools that we have as adults and young adults back into the minds and hearts of the kids, you know what I mean? So crochet is one of the things that we teach the young men and women over there.
Okay, well, thank you for coming out to our show. It was
Yes,
so nice
indeed.
having you at Make and Take Crochet.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Today's Make and Take project is a granny square and the granny triangle. And we have Phyllis of Phyllis's Original Crochet Corner here to demonstrate how to do both of them. Then we're going to join the triangles and the squares together to form the letter C. C is for crochet, and C is also for Cascade Yarn, which is our new sponsor for Make and Take Crochet. Welcome, Phyllis.
Thank you for having me again, Yvonne. This is great. I'm excited. We're going to do a little demonstration today.
Yes.
And I'm going to get started right away.
Yes.
Then I'm going to chain up 3. Then I'm going to go in that first section and make 11 more double crochets so that we have a nice circle to begin our square. And this works up pretty quickly. It's pretty easy to do, and most of the time people are able to work up squares, you know, in no time and work toward their projects. Let me do a quick count. 3, 6. Okay, we need 1 more.
I think squares are good to do, like, let's say that you finished a project and you got a little bit of yarn. It's not enough to create another project, but I think it's good to just make a couple of squares with your leftover yarn.
Yes.
So as you add up from one project to the next, you can put all your squares together and then create something else.
Yes. So now we have a circle, 12, because the 3 chains in the beginning was counted as 1. And we're going to go into that top of those chains, do a slip stitch to join that row. So now we have the complete circle. Then I'm going to chain up 3 times. Then I'm going to go in between the spacing here and put in 6 double crochets. So the chain counts as 1 and 2 more double crochets make 3. In between the 3, I'm going to make 1 chain. Then I'm going to go back in that same space and do 3 more double crochets. This is the beginning of our corner. So that's 1 corner made. I'm going to skip 3 double crochets, go in the next space, and make another set of 6. So this is 2, 3, 1 chain. I'm going to make 3 more, and we'll have our second corner. So now we have 2 corners done, and we're going to skip 3 again, 1, 2, 3 stitches, go in the next space for the third corner. Again, 3 double crochets, 1 chain, 3 more double crochets, and we're up to corner number 3.
So it works up pretty quickly.
As you see, getting that nice square there. And I'm going to go in between the last 6 and do the last corner. So I did 3 double crochets, 1 chain, 3 more double crochets, and 1 chain. So now I'm going to slip stitch it together So as you see, a nice
square.
This is what we're aiming for. Okay, so if I take this and need scissors, I'll snip this and we can now move on, because to make the letter C, you need squares and triangles. So now I'm going to make my triangle.
Okay.
So again, I'm just going to
So does the triangle start off as a circle?
Almost. It's like a half circle.
Okay.
How about that? So I made a little, my starter's loop, and I'm going to chain up 3. Then I'm going to go into the bottom of that, where that loop was, and make 3 more double crochets. Hold on, the yarn is not cooperating. Okay. 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
So now that first set of chains, that counts as 1. And I did 3 more double crochets. Now I'm going to do 1 chain. Now I'm going to go back in that same loop and do 4 more double crochets. So it's even on both sides. And you try to...
So you have 4, a chain, and then 4.
Yes. So now this is like a little baby triangle, if you can see it.
So it's a total of 9 stitches.
Well,
3,
yes.
right, four doubles, 1 chain, 4 doubles.
Yes, so now you turn it around, and I'm going to chain up 1, 2, 3. And that first chain counts as 1, and I'm going to go in that last loop and make 3 more double crochets. So that's the side of the triangle. Now, in between where I had that chain, in between the groups of 4, I'm going right in that chain, and I'm going to make 6 double crochets. So I have 3, make 1 chain to make that point, and 3 more. So I have the top of the triangle formulated. Now I'm going to go to the end, and I'm going to, in the last stitch, I'm going to make 4 more double crochets. When you make 4 on the ends, it allows for the triangle to lay down properly, as you might say. Okay, so now there's our triangle.
Okay.
There's our triangle.
So those are the 2 things you need to make your letters.
2 things to make those letters. Now, we have some triangles and squares already made up. The right amount that we need to formulate the C. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this C on the table. So here we have 3 squares. That's the side of the C. And then we're going to make the top part of the C by just putting these squares and triangles in. And as a matter of fact, this is a pattern that you can get off of Etsy, one of my patterns.
Yes. So we'll have that link available at the end of the show, so you'll know just where to go, so you can get all 26 letters of the alphabet.
Of the alphabet, exactly. So here we have the top part of the C formulating, and so if you take a look now, what do you see? The letter C. Put together nice and neat, and all you do is single crochet all of these squares and triangles together, and it's an easy fix, and you have your C. C for crochet, C for Cascade Yarns. That is our
Through the magic
sponsor.
of TV, I actually have one.
So now we're going to show you one that's totally complete.
Yep, so this is actually some Cascade yarn. Like I said, they are a new sponsor. This yarn is called, this is the Peruvian Tones. Ortopima Peruvian Tones. And oh my God, I really like this yarn. It's nice. It's 100% cotton. But that's my little granny square with the little
There's a granny
popcorns.
square. And now, to the magic of TV, we have our C already done with the nice sparkly edging. C for Cascade, C for crochet.
C is for Yvonne Cherry too.
Yes, yes. So
yeah, but that's really nice. And I just really like the way your mind came up with this. I got like 1,000 things I want to do with these letters.
Right.
Okay, varsity jackets, monogram pillows. I mean,
well, the choices are endless.
yes.
Choices are endless. And behind us we have how you manipulate, again, the squares and triangles to make letters. So this is an initial lettered blanket for a little girl. Her name is Jasmine. I'm sure she's going to like it. And I put together a matching pillow so that she can, you know, run around with her pillow and special blanket. And the other one is just a generic one, blanket with squares. You just add to the creativity. And here's the pillow that goes with that one. They make wonderful shower gifts.
Definitely.
You know, for new babies, you can always color coordinate, you know, what works. Baby showers.
First birthday present.
Yes. the opportunities are endless, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Right.
So thank you for
Wait a minute, one more thing. What else do we have here?
Oh,
We have
how
some
could I
other,
forget?
one more thing we need to share.
Yes, it is. So this is a new yarn from Cascade also. And I love variegated yarn. But what I do is I go from the inside to the outside. So I might start my project and work the outside of the ball, which is how I came up with this. And then I might pull from the inside of the ball, which is how I came up with this. So, and sometimes I go back and forth. I might do 4 rows from the inside and 5 rows from the outside. And this yarn is there. Oh, the label has torn. But this is the, what does that say?
Paradigm.
Yes.
Paradigm. Very nice.
Paradigm shift. And that yarn is really nice. And it's 100% cotton. And it's a worsted weight yarn. So thank you again, Cascade Yarn.
Yes. Excellent.
So finishing up, going back to what Nasant was doing with crocheting, because a lot of people go, oh, there's a man and he crochets. Yes, men have been crocheting. Men have been crocheting for centuries. And you'll see them in ancient cultures. If you look around, you'll see like nice kufis with all types of color work going on in them. And that's what Nasant work just brings to my mind. It's like something that's just been in his blood for centuries, and he's bringing it back out to us now. So thank you, everybody, for joining the show. Make and Take Crochet. Come back again soon. Our next show is going to be about summer tops. So summer tops, bikini tops, crochet fashion. Thank you.